I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery.
That was the Princess of Wales earlier in the year, bravely revealing to the world she has cancer. Despite the wild conspiracy theories, people right around the world have been showing their support for the princess while she focuses on recovering. Now, Princess Catherine is the most popular royal according to the latest Ipsos poll, and although many members of the public are eagerly waiting to welcome her back, it will be some time before the Princess of Wales returns to public-facing royal duties. In a statement shared with the BBC, Kensington Palace explained that Princess Catherine won't be returning to work until she gets the all clear from her medical staff. However, nothing has changed when it comes to causes that are close to her heart. 3 years ago, the Princess launched the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, and Kensington Palace confirmed that early childhood will continue to be central to her public work. And the Princess had been briefed on a report by the foundation which calls for more business investment in children's early years. Now, over the weekend, Princess Catherine and Prince William shared an update on a mental health project they're involved in by posting a trailer of a short film which highlights the mental health challenges faced by British farmers.
Angela, mental health is such a serious and worldwide issue. No doubt her advocacy on this is welcome, as is, the potential comeback.
Yes, well, one hopes that this would mark the beginning of Princess coming back, but we don't know anything. Everything's kept very quiet. However, when Prince Charles became king, the duchy, a vast amount of land that he owns, went to William. And I think that is, for them, they want to building houses on there for people who don't have homes, but they also obviously want to help them with the mental health. And Catherine is brilliant about that. She and William set up a platform about mental health many years ago, well before Harry met Meghan. And then he joined them, and the three of them would talk about it and try to make it a problem that you can actually go and see a doctor about, and it's not shameful. And it worked extremely well. I heard from specialists that they had so many hundreds of people going to them and admitting they had mental health issues. And now it's said quite easily to talk about it. And I think that farmers are having a bad time. There's a great attack about them people eating meat. You can't cope with the weather. Sometimes it's completely out of order. And I think it would be a wonderful thing if she looked after that. I mean, she's done very well with young children within families, how to deal with the problems of having young children and the crying and the change that happens to you as a parent. And I think she'd be brilliant at that. But we have to wait and see whether she's just going to outline it or whether she's actually going to do it herself and appear.
And I think we're all very eager to see her return, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But this week, King Charles' first portrait as king was unveiled. Mixed reviews. This is what the artist Jonathan Yeo had to say about the piece.
You're treading in sort of well-worn territory when you're doing a royal portrait, basically, and so you kind of want to, avoid cliches. And one of the things with, the fact he was going to be wearing a red uniform. And it's very bright red, the Welsh Guards tunic. If you paint that in, it's going to be the first thing you see, and maybe the only thing you see. Or do you do something to kind of like even it out? And so painting the background, the sort of reddish pink as well, just seemed like a slightly playful and more contemporary way of doing it.
Angela, it certainly is a markedly different piece from other former royal portraits. What's your view, and do you think the king has been well captured?
Yes, I love it, actually. I absolutely love it. I think the face of King Charles is absolutely extraordinary. You have so much there. You have determination, you have humanitarian feelings, you have a sense of humour. I mean, I think it's absolutely extraordinary, all that within the king. And you think it is him, really, if you didn't know otherwise. I love the butterfly on his shoulder, which some people say if somebody dies, a butterfly comes back to look after you. That could be his late mother, Queen Elizabeth. And it's also nature, which he is very keen of. And I love the colour because I think that it is very, very powerful. And yet within that, you see the king all there with his badges and his uniform. I think it's extremely moving and brilliantly done.
I think that's a wonderful way to describe it, Angela. And it's also been announced that the King and Queen will be attending D-Day commemorations in the UK and France next month. This will be Charles's first overseas trip since being diagnosed with cancer. Is this a testing of the waters for his recovery and later overseas trips down the track?
Well, I think we've now seen him. He's had 2 or 3 weeks where he's been allowed to attend what he wants to do. And 2 doctors actually signed papers that he was now well enough to travel overseas. I think the thing is he's still having treatment, but he was like becoming like a lion in a cage, and he was finding it very, very difficult to be at home. This man has worked day and most of the night since he was a very young man as heir to the throne, and he's not used to being at home. And the fact that he can come out, you can see how happy he looks, paler than normal, but he's actually yearning to be with people. And he and his mother also felt very strongly about the military, and that day is a very important one, and he very much wanted to go. We've had lots of things saying he's really working hard to get there and persuading people to let him, and he and Camilla and Prince William are all going to go over there and show their respect. There won't be very many people who were there at the time, and I think that that's also very important, that it might be the last time when any of the soldiers who were alive will still be living next year or the year after.